Hey, and welcome to another episode of Kahawa Nagowi. I am your host, Gowi Makodinge. Karibu sana. I've been waiting to have our guest here on this show. We've been talking about this, and so Karibu Rina. Rina Hicks, Yani, it's so good to have you here.
It's so good to be here.
Please let people know about your content and what you do.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Just wish we were not discussing such a difficult subject. My name is Rina Hicks, and I am passionate about financial literacy. I'm an investment banker, an author, a coach, a mother, a wife.
Yes.
What else?
Many things.
Many things.
For the purposes of our series that we've been doing, it's about marriage.
Yeah.
And today we want us to talk about money.
Yeah.
So there's this guy who wrote a book. It's called Ramit Sethi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that.
You are pronouncing it well.
I'm pronouncing that, yes. Mm-hmm. He says your rich life, or something, that's the name of the book. Says,
I will teach you to be rich.
I will teach you to be rich, yes. So he lists about 10 things, okay? 10 rules to work towards wealth. And his major one is pick the right spouse. This is to say that if you pick the wrong person, you are setting yourself up to fail in money and wealth creation.
Is that life, true? Even in life.
Okay. Ebu, unpack that.
I completely agree with Ramit.
Yeah.
Let me unpack it. You see, when you're dating someone and this person is not willing to tell you what they do, they just say, just biashara. They don't disclose debt that they have. They don't disclose that they support the whole village. They don't disclose the fact that they are struggling with money, or they can beg, borrow, or steal, but they have to be rich. You know, their values around money. Then there's misalignment. And then there's lots of disagreements around money. If I could just share a quick story. Somebody that I knew when I was little, much younger, married, successful, had a great job, decided to resign, in fact, early retirement, because, they'd done really well. And she then decided, I wrote about her in my book, actually, that, she was done and would just now get involved in passionate pursuits. One morning, she goes to the door because the doorbell rang, and there was guys in overalls, and they were like, "Oh, madam, here is your eviction notice." And she's like, "Excuse me, what? Your house. You've not been paying. And so we're auctioneers."
Yeah.
And she's just like, "You've got to be joking. We paid off this house I don't know how many years ago." So she's like, "You've got the wrong house, wrong people, get out. I'm calling security." They said, "Sawa." So they left. Husband comes home in the evening and she's like, "Can you believe this today? Some guys came. I mean, the nerve of these people. How can they do?" And he's like, by the way,
yeah,
he had remortgaged their house,
without
not said anything for some business, biashara. And long story short, they lost the house. Now, this is a house they've brought up children. This is a house that they've basically paid off for many years. Now they're looking at retirement like this, and now they have to go rent and start again. You tell me how that couple is doing now. So it has destroyed not just her marriage, but her sense of self-worth. She doesn't trust him. I mean, it has completely destroyed them. So, and then that's just one example. There's other examples around, even women who choose perhaps to stay home and look after children. And there's nothing wrong with that decision. But the fact that they don't have any money coming through, a lot of them struggle with being able to say, "No, I don't think we should make that investment," or "I think we should buy this house here." And because they're not bringing any money to the table, they struggle.
They don't feel that they can speak into that.
No. So it's a problem.
So, you touched on something, and this is something that we don't understand, we don't appreciate. How much black tax? You understand the term black tax, eh?
Yeah, I do.
How much black tax is on this person you're dating? So when you date them, you don't know how much black tax they're on.
No.
So once you say I do and all this, so then you come to here, they're supporting so and so and the village in itself. What does that do to a marriage?
Do you know, in fact, that was one of the questions I asked Alan. When we were dating.
Alan, your husband.
My husband, I'm sorry. I asked him, by the way, these guys, Kuna vile I'm seeing.
I
Please
see
tell
many
me.
relas here.
What is our responsibility where they're concerned? I needed to know.
Yes.
And one of the things I thank God for, I have a husband who's amazing as a planner.
Mm.
Actually, I tell people the reason I talk about money me, I'm the one with issues. Let me just tell you, I'm the one with issues.
I know him to be a planner also,
He's
yes.
such a planner.
Yes.
So he thinks ahead of things. So before we got married, we talked about anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how are we going to spend this? Are we going to budget? Well, you know, all those different things. We put money on the table and even invested together before we got married. Just a little bit, just so that we can get a sense of what kind of a personality are you. But back to black tax, and I don't like that term, by the way.
Ooh, sorry. Let me sit up. You have better posture than I have. So, okay.
I don't like that term. But back to black tax, as they call it.
Yes.
Yeah, those are some of the things that if you don't know about, and then your parents are well off, it's like, why are we always giving your family? How come we never support my family? And then it's like, but your family doesn't need any money. So even that, you need to talk about, okay, so how are we supporting your family? In what ways? So that then it's sort of equitable in some kind of way.
So what Ramit is trying to say here is interrogate the person you're dating around how they handle money. Is that what you're saying?
Their relationship with money.
Their relationship with money.
Their values as a person.
Their values.
And how that relates with money.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Issues around debt.
Yes.
Issues around what do you want to do in life? Like, do you want to become president of Russia? And so are we going to move to Russia? Or are we going to, things like that affect, it has to do with money, yes, but it also affects all of us in the way that we live.
So, Rina, this is transparency. One of the big issues in our marriage has been money.
Okay.
And so how we see money, how we are different with money.
Yeah.
My wife and I have been privileged to sit under your coaching. And I can't tell you how hilarious some of the discoveries we were making 10 years plus into our marriage that we should have known well before.
Yeah.
So what baggage do people bring into marriage with regards to money, in your experience, as a coach?
As a married person and as a coach?
Yes.
I think one of the things is that the way that we are brought up, the experiences that we have, things that we see being done or not being done affect the way that we relate with money. So some of us, money is equal to happiness. Why do I work so hard anyway? So let me enjoy this life. And when I have money or I feel sad, I spend it. Then there's others who, for them, money was so scarce, or they were brought up by a father who was very, where's the money? How much did I give you? Where is the change?
It's a bean counting, yes.
Counting, penny pincher.
Penny pincher, yes.
Kabisa.
Yes.
So those guys now have a certain relationship with money. Either they'll be the same or go to the extreme end. Then there's others who money is equal to power. Others, money is equal to self-worth, as in for me. So the upbringing and the baggage that comes with either we didn't have, or we had too much, or, we never planned, or even trauma that is related to money, because money was used in certain ways by the loved ones around you to do certain things. And so it actually causes you trauma. And so you find there are people who are avoiders and just don't want to talk about money, don't know what is due, when it's due. It's just somebody somewhere somehow will help this thing work out. And it's not me, because I'm not equipped to do this.
They bury their head in the sand.
They bury their head in the sand.
Okay.
So you'll find out somebody is maybe, a go-getter. They always want to talk about money. There's opportunities that are constantly available. They want to risk and they want to carry on. Is married to someone who has money trauma, who for them, someone else should be doing this for me. And it just causes so much conflict. Or like in my personal situation, I'm a dreamer. Everything is possible, Pastor Goi. Everything. I can go to Australia tomorrow.
Yes.
Right?
And it will happen.
Yes. But I have a husband who's like, okay,
how does that
How is this happening?
Yes.
Where is the money coming from? Can we plan so that we know where it's all going to come from, how it's going to work? And so that has also brought conflict.
And how it will impact.
Yes.
That spending will impact in the future.
Yeah. But imagine that conflict is within a context of we share the same values. We are both in agreement in as far as the principles by which we live by. Now, can you imagine if we had those differences in the way that we relate with money, and then plus now add the fact that we don't share the same core values as a couple? It's just a mess.
So Rina, you're saying we come with our own money baggage.
Yeah, we do.
We all have.
Mhm.
So we need to identify our
We
money
have
baggage
to.
before we even say I do.
Well, ideally.
Ideally, eh?
But we're so in love and nothing else can destroy this love. You guys are the ones with these shoes like in a pasta going. Me, I don't know what you're talking about because us guys are right.
You're
That's
right,
usually the
yes.
attitude.
Yeah.
So I find that it's difficult to pack all these different things before marriage. And I think that once you've covered the basics, once people get married, I think it's important to have a journey that you walk through so that you form the right foundation when you're married. Because there's things that are difficult to deal with before. However, if you can have that awareness of how do I relate with money, and your husband does the same or boyfriend does the same before you get married, I think it'll make life a lot easier. It will.
All right. Here's my theory. In my almost 30 years of doing pastoral ministry, I say the number one issue when it comes to drama in marriages is money.
Okay.
The next one, wait for it, is pride. Are you surprised with that?
A little bit. I thought infidelity would come a bit higher up, like maybe number 2, but maybe pride and money, I can see how.
I think infidelity is a more of a indicator than it is the issue. I think it is actually a finance thing or it is a pride thing. As I look at it, yes, infidelity could be another one, but I want to be able to see those are the two main things that you'll be able to have when it comes to it. I've put money up there.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you?
No, I think having been married for the time that I've been married myself, I've been married for 15 years now.
Yeah.
And I'd say there's two main things that causes conflict for us. And one is money. And the second one would be how we raise the children. Yeah. But money is a big one.
And I bet you, Rina, if we just walked out to the street here and asked people, randomly, are you married? Yes. What are the main conflicts? I bet you a majority will say money is the big, either the lack of it, the abundance of it, or the misuse of it.
Well, they say in the US where they do research is that 75% of divorces are actually caused by money. So you're probably right.
There you go. So what are some of the misconceptions on finances that play out in marriage? Misconceptions. What are myths that we have that we bring into marriage?
So could you hear us well though?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
So we have to start again?
No.
Okay.
All right.
So you'll ask the question
I'll
again.
Ask the question
Wait,
again.
let me just, before we record, what misconceptions? So this is before marriage?
What are the myths and misconceptions about finances in marriage?
In marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's not an easy question.
I'll give you
me an example.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here's another question that I'm going to ask. What are some of the myths or misconceptions about money that people have in marriage? Let me give you one.
Okay.
We will have an account together and everything will work out. I see the way you're laughing.
No, but
I see that.
yeah.
Or we will invest together.
Yeah.
And we're going to make and create wealth together.
Yeah.
Let's start investing now so that by the time we get married, the money would have grown. So those are some of the myths or misconceptions people have. You laughed. Ebu, explain to me that.
No, so the reason I laughed is a lot of people look at me like I am going nuts when I say that when we started off in marriage, we agreed we're going to have a bank account together and our salaries go into that account.
Yes.
And then we spend. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to aim at bringing your money together. And I think that when partners come together, 1 and 1 is not 2. It's like there's just a magic that happens when
That 1 and 1 is actually 1.
it's actually 5.
Wow.
When
So
2 of you come together in agreement and you agree to do something, the ability for you to propel to greater heights is so much greater than you doing it alone separately.
You know, there's a term for that.
What is that?
Synergistic effect.
Okay, there we
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
And it's real.
Yes.
But I can tell you there's a lot of opposition from that happening.
Okay.
And that's why this becomes difficult.
So those are the
in my
misconceptions.
personal,
Yes.
okay, so I wouldn't quite call it a misconception, particularly this one we're discussing where you put money together and invest together. You have a single budget. We do things together. It's just that much harder. So what do I mean? So now for me, in my personal situation, it's we agreed we're putting our money together and then we agree this is what we're spending money on. But these things I like to do, Koi, that my husband will not understand. And that's just the reality. Because for him, it doesn't mean anything. I want to go for a massage and it costs 8,000 shillings. It's like, what are you spending money on?
Why are you spending?
Why? For
Yes.
what reasons? Someone squeeze you where?
Yeah.
I want to, let me squeeze those shoulders for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, listen, for me, I want this.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation.
What ended up happening is we said, look, I'm okay with us putting money together,
Yes.
but let's also have separate accounts and let's give each other like an allowance from those accounts that then I'm able to spend money on whatever I want. If I want to spend all that money in a hotel, eating the whole day, and it's me,
It's your
it's
money.
my money, no questions asked.
Yeah.
That began to really help the way that we have conversations around money. So ideally, I think it is a good thing for a couple to actually sit down, plan together, budget together, and find ways to make investments together to the extent possible. But I recognize it's very difficult for some. So if it is that difficult for you, it's okay. It doesn't mean your marriage has failed if you're managing money differently. You know, you're paying school fees, someone else is paying, household things, and it's okay. But there are other misconceptions. For example, when we get married, you stay home, I'll look after you, and everything's going to just be so wonderful. It doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah.
And I've learned that it is important that every single person, well, there are only 2 in the relationship, needs to bring something to the table, even if that something is 5 bob.
What if you can't quantify that? I am working. I'm the Jama working. The wife is at home. She's not making the money. She's not making money. But what is she bringing to the table financially?
If she's not making the money, she needs to be doing the research on investment opportunities that exist, having meetings with whatever bankers need to be had, knowing what we've invested in, how it is doing, helping significantly and adding value in this relationship where finances are concerned. It's not just being blasé. I don't know how much. In fact, I don't know where Kenya Power is paid. I have no idea where, which bank accounts do we have, where they are. It's just here, it's on M-Pesa, I'm given money. That, hey, is going to be a problem.
So the myth I was going to say, the other one is, he'll take care of all the bills.
Yeah, that's a myth.
That's a myth.
I think so.
Okay.
He may.
Yes.
But after a while, you lose power as the spouse. And you lose respect after a certain period of time. Consistently, from what I have experienced with my clients, I just find that the women, because it's usually women who are taken care of, the women who don't bring anything to the table. And when I mean anything, it doesn't necessarily mean a substantial amount of money.
Okay.
They don't substantially have an input.
The value addition.
The value addition in the home is 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, it's an issue. It doesn't matter what the men say.
The other myth is, I'm the man, I make the call.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I make the call. You just.
So let's discuss. By the way, I am here as a woman in your life.
Yes.
To add value to you and to help you not to mess up your life and ours.
Yes.
Yeah, because I bring something to this table and I have a mind that works very well. And in fact, the reason you're succeeding is because I exist as a woman. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that men need to just understand they have a gem in their women. A good man. Now, what is the verse? And about a wife and a man, and I don't know, it's disappearing from.
It's also disappeared for me, but I think I know the verse you're telling me about.
Like women bring favor.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. A good man finds a wife.
Yes.
No, say he who finds a wife
finds a good thing,
finds a
and
good thing
receives
and obtains favor from the Lord.
Yes.
That's what you meant. Yes.
And it is real. It is real. So what am I saying?
What are you saying?
I am saying that men cannot sit and say, I'm the man, I'm making the call.
Yeah.
Yes, you're the man, you are the leader.
Yes.
But this leader needs to bounce things off somebody, to also say, by the way, I'm making a decision and these are the things I am considering, and to accept to listen to a different perspective. Discuss, then agree on a way forward. The agreement may be his side, it's okay, but at least he has had an opportunity to listen to another perspective. Very important.
So why are money and finances a main source of conflict in marriage? Why do you think they are a main source of conflict in marriage?
Yeah. I think that money is tied to our deepest emotional needs. Our need for love, our need for acceptance, our need for relevance, our need for power, independence, self-worth. Our deepest emotional needs. Money is tied to it. So, as a result of that, whether
I have to stop you there. Yani, Rina, I've tried to look for the language to it. You have just helped me. I've tried to be able to do this. You've just what you've said, you've now helped me couch it. It is tied to our deepest emotional needs.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So just expound on that, kidogo.
So maybe I have baggage that comes from feeling insecure, or I just feel unsafe, maybe. Yeah. So money gives me security. A lot of money gives me security. And when I start to see that my money is coming down, I start to hyperventilate. Right?
That kind of emoji like this. You know that kind of emoji.
Right, yeah. Or sometimes some people, you know how it is, you get a lot of money. Let's say you do a contract and you're paid 10 million. Even your way you walk changes. You get like a bounce. There are people, set up. But it's not everyone who reacts that way. There are other guys who are
sweaty.
Oh my gosh, I don't want people to know, because money for them is related to corruption, evil.
Money is bad.
It's bad.
Yes.
And so people will see me as a horrible person, a corrupt person, an evil person, a bad person. So because it's tied to our deepest emotional needs, when we relate with it and with others, it causes angst and can cause a significant amount of conflict as a result. And so the awareness of what emotional need money means for me and for my spouse helps bring harmony in the relationship.
There's the awareness.
Yes.
Once you have the awareness, then you can begin to deal with it.
Then you can begin to deal. Yes. And how do you begin to deal? First of all, just to recognize what fears my spouse has. He's not coming to destroy me or looking to jeopardize my fun and enjoyment in life. No, he has genuine fears that I need to recognize. And so do I. There's also the fact that I just need to admire some things about this spouse, because there's some things that I really wish I could do. For example, there are people who would love to just splurge and enjoy and have no conscience around that and be like, yeah, whatever, and I'm having fun. There's people who look at that and are like, wow, I wish I could do that, and have a genuine admiration for that and be like, by the way, I really admire the way that you, or maybe it's, I admire the way that you're able to just budget and stick to it. For me, that doesn't work and I'm struggling. But I thank God that, you have that ability in you. And those strengths, by the way, in the two different personalities really helps to make you both do a fantastic thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, if we can wrap up this conversation, what I'm hearing you say is...
How are we wrapping up? See, we just started.
Yeah. You know what? This is Kawana Gowi. You're on and today we don't have coffee. I should have got you my coffee mug and all that. But I'd like to have you on this show more. In fact, even listening to you, I'm like, we should do a series on money.
We can.
So we're doing marriage now. We should do just let's talk about, money. Yeah, we'll do that. But so that we still keep guys watching. In fact, guys, keep on watching, subscribe, that notification button, do it, and tell a friend. Let me ask you, I mean, you're talking about these things. So it actually suggests that we actually have money personalities.
We do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the exercise that you gave Jennifer and I when we did it, that are strong and I am an amasa.
You are.
And I was laughing. And I am an amasser. So I was like, why do I amass things? And the thing that got me is, it got me thinking about how I was brought up.
Okay.
So being able to understand how I was brought up and why I want to amass things is very, very interesting about it. So I could take on huge financial projects and stretch us thin as a couple. And
with her knowledge, I hope.
Some with and some without. And so that is where the problem has been. And I think the place of learning for me is being able to realize that she has a totally different money personality. And my amassing part of it creates anxiety, angst, and stress. What is it about personalities that you'd like to tell an audience, or you tell this audience of Kaanago, but what you would tell them if we come into a coaching session, a coaching class with you? What is it about your money personality that you need to know?
Yeah. I think two things. One, that there's a very positive side, but there's also a dark side in that personality. We always, unfortunately, see the dark side in someone else all the time, but we don't see the dark side in ourselves.
Right, yeah.
And so I think, first of all, to recognize you do have a weakness, even as an amasa. Because especially amasas, they tend to think, I know how to make money. I make the money anyway, so what's the problem? I have the ideas.
All right. No, don't
However,
me too much.
There's so much value in someone else who's looking at it from, we need to hoard.
Yes.
And let's put some things in safe places.
Yes.
And let's just leave it there for a while because we need security. And we do need both the ability to have that security and safety net, but also we need to find ways to build wealth. We need both of those things. And so it's to have the humility to accept, imagine I do have a dark side, and how do I deal with this dark side, and talk about it and sort of see how can we create a system within our relationship that enables me to continue to amass. Is it setting aside a certain amount of money that I can go and splurge or not splurge, but experiment with, while that one who is not quite there yet is sort of like, okay, with the rest, I'm comfortable. You go do with what you want. And with this remainder, I'm okay. I think conversations are very important, and communication, so that we're able to kind of just do this dance where we figure out how do we satisfy that need, and also take advantage of the great positive things that come from that personality. But while also putting guardrails so that then the dark side does not mess us up.
So understand the personality.
Yeah.
The good of this personality.
Yes.
But then also understand the dark side of this personality.
Yes.
And figure out how you can put the boundaries about it. I like that. This is not taught much. We're not taught this.
No.
We're not taught this. This is something that we get to figure out in life. Our parents don't teach us this thing. How can we learn?
So I landed on this accidentally. I guess I was just doing some research when I was in this space trying to figure out how am I going to survive this story of money and marriage, right? Some years back. And I landed on a woman who has been in the psychology space for many years. Her name is Olivia Mellan. She's now in her late 70s, wrote a book in the early 90s called Money Harmony. And I remember reading her book. It's an old book, but it's very valuable because they'd done a lot of research in the 80s. Because she's just like, every single couple that comes to me has the same issue. So her, and together with other psychologists that did this research around just emotions, money, and these personalities. And so I'd say there's now a lot of content online. And I'd also say talk to someone, especially as a couple. There's professionals who are counselors, who are coaches, who you can have conversations with that can help you see where the issues are and how to go about dealing with them. All of us are dealing with so many things. I'm doing my own soul work and realizing, oh my gosh, the reason I do the things that I do come from such a deep place. And without that awareness, then I continue doing things that hurt others without even realizing myself. And so if you don't do your own work, then you pride. You talked about pride. By then I see it completely. And so you don't then approach things with a level of humility that can help you resolve a lot of the conflicts that are there. Yeah.
Rina, I'd like you to plug your book
Okay.
and also your coaching and training, especially around finances for couples. I have been a beneficiary of it. Jennifer and I have been I think she's been more a beneficiary than I have because I've just been a knickard. One of the few places I've been quiet, going is just nyenyekeaing. But how can we get access to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So first of all, the book is available online.
Okay.
It's available
the title of the book?
The title of I should have come with a copy. The title of the book is Money Wise.
Yes.
Create, Grow, and Preserve Wealth.
Okay.
And the book is available at Textbook Center. It's available from us. You can get in touch with us, sema@moneywise.co.ke. It's available online on Kindle, on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of coaching and training, it's just to really write to us, sema@moneywise.co.ke.
Yeah.
And we will send you a proposal. If you're happy with it, we carry on and do the coaching. And we have a coaching panel. It's not just me anymore. I've grown, Goey. So we have a panel of coaches who are amazing.
Yeah.
And so even if I'm not able to coach you myself, we do have other coaches. Because I just realized, it got to a point where I was just like, no, I can't take any more clients. But I was like, no, I can find ways to scale this because the need is great.
Yeah.
And so we will support you and we will help you. Whether you're a couple or just a single person trying to think, is this girlfriend or boyfriend the right person to think through? In fact, if people can come for coaching even before you get married.
Before I do.
Oh my gosh, even better.
You've heard it from Rina Hicks, and she has been, I need to have you here again. This is just too short, but you've been listening to our podcast here, Kahawana Gowi. Tell a friend to tell another friend, and let's be more wise with our money. Peace. I'm out.